Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to the Trinaldo Roberts podcast, episode number 129. I am Brendan. UFC 274 Oliveira versus Gagey is over, and if you are looking for the main card, I covered that in the last video. This is going to be just the prelims. Okie dokes. Before we get into these stuff, we're going to talk about Francisco Trinaldo versus Danny Roberts, Norma Dumont versus Macy Chiasson, Brandon Royval, Matt Schnell, all that good stuff. We're going to cover all of them. It's going to be kind of a speed run. We're going to talk maybe a little bit about some controversial decisions or calls or something like that. But for the most part, we're going to speed run this. This is the prelims and the early prelims. So while we're going through this speed run, hit that subscribe button because I do at least one of these videos every single week. And if you like MMA, if you like podcasts, if you like the UFC, I cover all that stuff. I do it every single week, and this way you'll know when my videos come out. And then also, if you do like this video, click the like button. I'd super appreciate it. Let's get going. All right, Francisco Trinaldo taking on Danny Roberts. Maso Randuba versus Hot Chocolate. That's fun. That's fun. I really do like a good nickname. Do you know what I mean? Do you get does that do anything for you guys? I don't know. It sets a tone in my head. Like, I still, to this day, Andre Fili. His nickname is Touchy. Andre Touchy Fili. It's just a fun name. And Maso Randuba just sounds cool. I forget what it means in Brazilian, Brazilian Portuguese. I forget what it means, but I know it means something cool. All right. So Francisco Trinaldo is 100 years old, and Danny Roberts is not. Trinaldo got the win here, rightfully so. Roberts was doing good work. He did more damage in that first round, I felt, but I guess not. I mean, looking at the striking numbers, 23-16 in favor of Trinaldo. I thought maybe Roberts might have landed some better shots in that first round, but I could be mistaken. Even so, I think one of the judges, at least here, did see it the same way I saw it, but maybe I'm crazy. Trinaldo rocked him with a punch in that second round to the head, and then he rocked him again with a punch to the body. So I actually gave Francisco Trinaldo a 10-8 round in that second round. I was like, maybe this is a 10-8. So I had it 19 to 18 in favor of Trinaldo going into the third here. Look at the striking numbers. It was all Trinaldo in that second round. I'm surprised that the fight didn't end. It was super close to getting stopped. And then Roberts got rocked again in that third round. I for sure had Trinaldo winning. I had him 29-27. Or 29-20. 29-27. I'm not crazy. Which is weird. So Flores had it 30-27. Camijo had it 30-26. So he saw one of the rounds. He saw that second round the way I did. And then Eric Colon had the first round the way I did. So, I don't feel like my scoring was all over the place. I thought it was warranted at least, but the right guy definitely won that fight. Trinaldo getting the win at 100 years old. Just real quick for some context, dude was born in 1978. First UFC fight back in Silva versus Franklin 2, UFC 147 in 2012, guys. I mean, we're not talking Andrei Arlovsky numbers there as far as age, but as far as fighting super far back, but it doesn't matter. Still fighting forever. All right, Norma Dumont versus Macy Chiasson. This fight, but if you didn't watch it, don't go back and watch this one. Macy was landing the cleaner shots and Norma landing the bigger looping ones in that first round. You want to look at the first round, Chiasson outlanding her 19-16. The damage could be even because, Dumont was landing the bigger shots, even though she landed less of them. So damage could have been even, but Macy landed a takedown. So she got that first round 10-9. In the second round, Macy got a takedown, landed good shots. For the entire round was in dominating position. So 20-18 going into the third, and then Norma landing some good shots. Macy looks exhausted, barely making it through that round. But here's the thing. I still had her win in 29-28. It's just that last round that last round clearly went to Norma Dumont. And you want to look at the striking numbers here, 12-3 in favor of Norma. And on top of that, she landed, the Chiesa did no damage. She was doing offensive wrestling, but wasn't really getting takedowns, staying on top. She was just grappling, looking like crap. And then if you want to, so the judges on the scorecard here, 2 judges gave it 30-27 to Macy. I didn't see that. I said, like, who gave Macy that last round? Like, and it was Chris Flores and Eric Colon. So, maybe I could be mistaken, but, wait, the other guy, was it a split decision? Oh, so this dude gave Norma Dumont 2 of the rounds, 29-28. That's probably wrong. Yeah, I wouldn't give her 2 of the rounds. The last round for sure was hers. But Chiesa definitely won that fight. So good job for her. This is a featherweight fight. They're a little bit heavier. I think Chiesa is kind of a natural featherweight, whereas Norma is just she could probably drop down to bantamweight. She's going to clean up her diet and pay attention to what she's doing in the off season here. All right, let's talk about some fun fights. This one is a part of the thumbnail. Brandon Royval versus Matt Schnell. Dude, Royval does not have boring fights. I don't know if this strategy is ever going to win him a title, but holy shit, is he fun to watch. Dude, Schnell came out hot, throwing all kinds of nasty towards Brandon, and they both were landing hard. Royval got dropped, 45 seconds into the fight? He got dropped first, and then Royval, they would go into a couple grappling exchanges and submission attempts, and Royval reversed. So Schnell was attempting, I think he attempted a guillotine, a triangle, and he ended up, Royval reversed it and got a guillotine himself, and ends up getting on top, and then getting that guillotine, it just super locked in, very tight, so fast. Matt Schnell didn't even have time to, he tapped with both arms. That's how fast he tapped. Side story here, Schnell recently lost his mother. For some people, this being, happy Mother's Day, by the way. For all the women who watch this video, watch these, I see the numbers, all right? I know it's just dudes. And Matt Schnell losing his mother, that's not fun. There's nothing funny about that, and it's unfortunate that he also has a loss, to carry on throughout this. So, thoughts going out to Matt Schnell here. I can't imagine what that's like. I don't want to imagine what that's like right now, having those 2 combinations of things. Brandon Royval went over to him, console him afterwards. I thought Schnell came out there looking really good, and he had Royval hurt like a lot of people do, and he could have gotten a win, but I don't know, man. That's rough, and it's a downer note, and I'm sorry, but it's a real thing. It happened, and it sucks, and I feel bad. So Royval calling out on the other side of that. Royval is calling out Davison Figueiredo / Brandon Moreno, looking for a title shot. He just beat the number 9 guy. He was ranked number 6. I don't think he's jumping Kai Kara France. They did face before, and he has a win over France. France rocked Royval, and then Royval ended up knocking him out. That round was crazy. That's what I'm saying, man. Brandon Royval does not have boring fights. So, and he had a good fight against Brandon Moreno, and I think he fought Figueiredo as well. He's a good challenger, and I wouldn't mind seeing him back up there, but he probably needs one more win against Alexander Pantoja or something to get back into that title picture. Moving on here. Blagoy Ivanov versus Marcos Rogerio de Lima. What can I say about the first round? Blagoy Ivanov is tough as shit. He takes a punch like you wouldn't believe. Straight to jail. You would not believe. If you know, you know. It's from Parks and Rec. Anyway, Blagoy is just next world tough. We're talking prime Mark Hunt, prime Roy Nelson. Who else could take a punch at heavyweight? Freaking prime Daniel Cormier taking that shot from Anthony Anthony Davis. That's not his name. It's just he's next level tough. All right, he did take a lot of big shots. He didn't win this round. De Lima outlanded him. Landed really heavy fucking shots. He just wouldn't go away. Ivanov just kept staying there and moving forward and taking damage. Crazy. Yeah, I was like, De Lima landing so many huge shots, taking very little damage in the way of return. I had him 10-9. Second round here, De Lima was looking tired, still throwing bombs, and then Blagoy was landing some good shots of his own. The pressure was more consistent with Blagoy in the second round. I feel like he was able to implement the pressure more effectively and keep De Lima against the fence a little bit better. And here's the second round. Plays out just like that. I gave it to him. I thought he did more damage. In the control. You could give him the second round. I'm not mad at that. 30-26 in favor of Ivanov. And then in the last round, De Lima ended the fight with a takedown in a round where I thought he was even on strikes. I guess I was off on the numbers, right? 20-17 in favor of Blagoy. So I thought, at least on damage, he came out even, in my opinion. I mean, I went Lima. I wrote down on my notes, like, I have to see the numbers. And looking at the numbers, I guess maybe Blagoy could have possibly done more damage. Could have. But I'm not as mad at the decision. They were surprised last night that Ivanov got the decision. But looking at these numbers here, I'm less surprised and more understanding of how that could happen. And it was unanimous. The thing is, like, it was a unanimous decision. So all three judges saw it that way. It's not as controversial to me anymore. It wasn't super controversial to begin with, but because it's lower on the card. But all right, moving on here. Andre Fiallo versus Cameron Van Camp. Fire. This fight was a lot of heat throwing back and forth. Fiallo got hurt early and got wobbled, and then he stayed tight, came back with his composure. He's on the thumbnail. Kept his composure and caught him with a nasty left hook and folded him like a lawn chair. Dude, Van Camp just collapsed on his face, and then he finished up with some punches on the ground. So Fiallo, dude, oof. I mean, you want to play that game with him. I think that's a losing bet long term. playing that go 1-for-1 with Andre. I mean, you want to. I mean, it's on you, because he did hurt him. Van Camp hurt him early, but he wasn't able to follow up and finish that one. All right, let's go to the early prelims. Tracy Cortez taking on Melissa Gatto. So Cortez was on top of the ground fighting off submissions, but she was in control on the feet. There was no big winner in any position, so I felt like Tracy having the better positions gave her the first round, and the numbers play that out a little bit over here, and the control time obviously was all in favor of her. If you want to look round by round, 3 minutes of control time in round one for Tracy Cortez. 11-7 on the striking numbers. Cortez clearly winning that first round, in my opinion. Cortez holds her head up really high and just kind of leans back. She's going to get cracked by a decent striker. Once she starts stepping up in level of competition here, she's going to have a real problem. Gatto actually outstruck her in the second round, 15-9. She did more damage on the feet and on the ground, even though Cortez was in control. But although the control time in the second round was in favor of Gatto, which played out as far as the submission attempts go. So I actually gave the second round to Gatto, 19-19, going into the third here. Tracy was on top, and Gatto was way too loose, going for crap. Like, she was going for crap that, wasn't landing. She wasn't sticking as far as submissions go. She wasn't getting anything dangerous. It was a losing play at that point. She needed to adjust, and she didn't adjust. Tracy got the win. I don't think Tracy Cortez is necessarily the better fighter. I think Gatto has the higher upside here. Cortez looks like she has a lot to work on. Her striking is rudimentary at best. Her wrestling is okay at best, and her submission is okay. Gatto is one of those people who feels really comfortable off her back. Therefore, she's willing to stay there and play that game. The problem is, in a 3-round fight, there's just not enough time to give away. It's not enough rounds. You can't just give some away to try and catch some of that stuff, especially if it's not working. Go for 1 or 2, and then you got to get back up. All right, CJ Vergara versus Cledison Rodriguez. This fight was fun. Fun fight to watch. Vergara with constant pressure and landing some good shots of his own. But in this first round, I gave it to Rodriguez because Rodriguez was just picking him apart. He was outstruck. He outstruck him and did way more damage. Plays out on the numbers here, 48-27 in favor of Rodriguez. And here's the thing. I felt like he did a really good job landing while moving backwards and keeping CJ at a distance where he couldn't hit back. So I felt like he did a really good job. Now, in the second round, CJ hurt him to the body and then spent most of that round laying down some ground and pound. And Rodriguez was going for submission attempts, but that's not enough to outdo the damage that's being done to you on top there, bud. So CJ clearly gets that second round, and striking numbers play that out, 26-13. And then, by the way, this was a split decision for CJ, if you guys can't see that here. CJ did get the split decision win. Here's the third round. Vergara's pressure, so CJ Vergara, his pressure was kind of wilting Rodriguez, and I felt like he landed the better damage in this third round. Yeah, the numbers are in favor of Rodriguez, 20-18, but I felt like the overall damage went the way of CJ. So I gave Rodriguez, there were some grappling exchanges, but none of those were close, right? None of them were close to finishing the fight or anything like that for Rodriguez. So they were kind of just positional and, I would say 50-50. Nobody's really winning that. He is doing offense, and all things being equal, that would win him a fight, but all things were not equal. I felt like CJ did more damage, and his pressure really showed that he was trying to finish the fight. So that's why I gave him that third round, even though he was down on the striking number, so I'm not mad about him getting the decision, although you could have gone the other way, and I wouldn't be mad at that either. Not a robbery. Leonie Godinez versus Ariane Carnalosi. Carnalosi. So this is the one where Carnalosi has bigger traps than me, right? We don't have to get into this again. I talk about it every time I see her fight. Doesn't matter. She got roughed up in this fight, just absolutely dominated. Godinez, I'm not going to break it down round by round because I don't need to. All 3 rounds were almost identical, where Godinez gets a takedown and dominated her on the ground. In the second round, she actually landed a good shot that rocked Carnalosi at one point, too. So you want to give her a 10-8 in that round, you can, but Godinez looked great. All right, and to open up this card, we had Fernie Garcia taking on Journey Newson at bantamweight. It was a fun fight. Garcia outlanded him. Even though Newson got a takedown, Fernie won that first round, which is the way I had it. Newson he's throwing a lot of spaghetti at the wall. 7-41 on his strikes. Just not a lot of them landing. Fernie outlanding him in that first round, doing the damage, so I gave it to him. And then in the second round, flipped the script. Newson outlanding him, doing more damage, rocking him at one point, so I had him 19-19 going into the third. And then Journey with the kicks and rocking Garcia with a right hand, taking that round not even close. Easy win for him. Journey Newson looked great in that last round especially. 2 of the judges gave him the first round too. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I guess you could. Saif Saud was not happy with Garcia in between rounds there. That is it. We are done talking about fights for this weekend. We are done talking about UFC for this weekend. And being that this is the end of the video where I normally put this in, I'm going to put it in again. No surprises. So if you did like this video, please press the like button. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel, because if you do, you will notice I post at least one of these every single week. You'll see them coming up. Right, this will show you oh, hey, look, Brendan posted another video. Cool beans. I'm going to go watch it. I would really appreciate it if you did that. It would mean a lot to me. If you are interested in the main card or the PFL from this past weekend, or this past week, or the Bellator 280 from this week, I already have those videos up. Go ahead and over there, watch them. If you're not interested in those, totally understand. It's a relatively niche sport, and those are niche organizations within a niche sport, so I understand it. But if you do, I have them up. If not, let me know what else you would like me to cover. I appreciate y'all. I really do. I hope you have an amazing week. Love y'all.